Okay, Sam, when the property loads, I just wanted to explain a little bit how the preview will work. So we've invited the neighbourhood out to look at the property. We've told the web that the property is now on the market. We're also about to tell our database. What we're telling them is the property, this location, these photos, these plans. It's wonderful, it's great, and it's a preview to the market. The buyers will make inquiry on what our price guide is. It's important that we guide straight away rather than hold it back. It's not an auction.
Yep.
It's going to have a price on it. And it's important that we're very, very forthcoming with that information to the buyers and saying, at this stage, we've previewed it just for the first couple of days to the market.
Yep.
We will have a price on the property very, very shortly. The guide that we're saying, if you have a budget somewhere between the 460 and the 480 mark, make sure you look at this property.
Yep.
So that's how we guide it.
How long do you think you'll keep the preview on for this one?
It would depend on the level of interest. That's a really good question. If the interest is immensely strong and we have a number of offers, well, let me actually, I'll explain that a little bit better. There's one of a couple of things that will happen.
Yep.
One is that you just don't get offers. We go to the market, we have our first open home, we have people come along, and the numbers are really low, and we don't get offers.
Yep.
If that happens for whatever reason, it's unlikely that would happen, but sometimes it can happen. Sometimes the market can be turned on, and if that happens, we need to price the property pretty much ASAP.
Yep.
Because we need to do that just so the buyers that are out there can see, because otherwise it'll start sitting around and getting stale straight away. So that is almost if we get a very, very poor showing. The second one is where we get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people. So we have a moderate showing.
Yep.
If we have a moderate showing where people have come out and we've guided the people around that 450 and we still get no offers, the reason that's probably happening is these buyers that are here, they're a little fearful of offering too much because they may offer more than what you were going to put on the property.
Yep.
So their reluctance to pay too much will stop them. This is really important that we also price ASAP.
Yep.
Because if we don't price ASAP, those buyers, their fear will dominate their thought and they'll actually choose not to buy this property. They'll just go on, make an offer on something that they know the price is on.
Yep.
Because that's the way the market works. However, the last one, so both cases we get the price on it almost straight away,
Yep.
within 2 or 3 days. The last one is where we get lots of people. So we get 25 people through and we get 5 offers.
Yep.
Now, that's good, by the way.
Yep.
You'd be happy with that?
Yep.
That could happen. If that happens, I need to give you some advice based on how that goes. What's the best strategy to take? Sometimes it may be better for us to leave preview on it while in negotiations because we might find that the market is showing higher numbers than we'd even discussed.
Yep.
If that's the case, we need to make sure that we keep our cards, being our price, close to our chest because the market's going to give us more than what we're prepared to sell for.
Yep.
That's why you're paying me to determine and go out there and find for you. If alternatively the buyers are in line with our price,
Yep.
and we have more than one buyer at that point, it's probably quite intelligent at that point to then price above all those buyers, to bring those buyers up to create some negotiations.
Yep.
Or alternatively, if the buyers are way down with the offers, are lower than what we thought, we need to have a discussion about where the market actually is on the property based on what the market's doing.
Okay.
Each one of these has a crystal ball part to it that I cannot tell you what's going to give us. But what I can tell you by the processes involved here, we're going to give us the best possibility of having this environment, which will give you the best possible price.
In this current market, you know, you said you've had quite a lot of interest in this area.
Yes.
How long, you know, let's say, you know, all things go well, roughly has been the average, you know, days for a preview?
I tend to try to limit it to only the first Saturday and have a price as early as about the Tuesday after.
Okay.
So let's say because things do take time in preparation. Let's say the photos come in on the photos get taken on Monday. I get them by Tuesday. I design all the advertising by Wednesday. We're on the internet without a price. We then market it for 3 or 4 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as a preview. Advertised in Friday's Newcastle Herald, the Open Home Guide as a preview. Advertised in Saturday's Newcastle herald as a preview.
Yep.
The buyers come through. This scenario could happen, or cross between these two most likely. Then after that open home and after those inspections and offers, I'll come back to you and say what I've found,
Yep.
and suggest we go to the market with this pricing, or we go back and make this counter offer to whatever's come through.
Yeah, the only reason I asked is, as you know, I'm pretty keen to, get it sold.
Yep.
So we can move on. I just don't want to be scaring people away. That was.
Yeah, well, there's two angles to scaring them away. We don't want to scare them away with a too higher price.
Yep.
But we also don't want to sell it short with a too lower price. So we need to have that nice balance.
Yeah.
And 4 or 5 days is nothing for us to just slow the buyers down. We'd hate to be out there on the market at 450.
Yep.
Get that within 10 minutes,
Yep.
and you would then be lying in bed that night and probably for the next 5 years thinking, well, I wonder if there was ever more out there in the market.
Yeah.
You're paying me to find out how much more the market has.
Yep.
And certainly that's what I'm going to do.
Excellent.
So now we need to just think about a little bit how the buyer's going to initially find your property now, because we're out on the internet, we're on all these websites with the signboard up. All the neighbourhood knows that the property's for sale, and people reading the paper have been notified, the people that read the open home guide on Friday that are planning. Our buyers will view your property most probably through a remote device. They will use desktops, but most probably they're going to use it through a remote device. The remote device being an iPhone, or a smartphone, or a tablet. When they use a tablet or smartphone, generally they're also going to use an application. So this is the domain up there. I'm sure you've seen that before, but the information is very, very easy to determine and forthcoming, where a property can simply be picked up that easily. It's now there on the web, and the buyer has all that information at his fingertips. And this is live information that we're reading right now. That's why it's taken a little bit of time to sort of stream through. This one here is one of my previews as an example.
Yep.
This one here I've previewed. This one here I will not price. I have offer that's more than the owner wanted, and he said sell it. So, and this has only been 3 or 4 days, but this we'll leave this one as a preview, and that's at the owner's choice. Again, all the photos in the floor plans. One very, very interesting and important, unique characteristic of the way the Ray White Group works is our strongest web portal is domain.com.
Yep.
Our database being my desktop, our database is owned partially by Fairfax, which own Domain. So we have a fortunate situation where Domain automatically feed into our database buyer information that have said, hey, I like a property. So as an example, if you inquired about this property online on raywhite.com or on domain.com or raywhite.com, when you went online and inquired, I'd get an email to come through that would say, hey, this property has just gone, it's just become available. And I'll just show you exactly what I mean by that. It looks like, I'll grab one for you. These come through throughout the day, so it looks something like that. That's a realestate.com one, and the information will just come straight into my iPad. It also comes into my phone and my desktop computer. But what's important to you about this is that information now, because you've been grabbed, the database has said, hey, Sam likes $300,000 properties in Charlestown.
Yep. It
tells the database that. So if ever we get another $300,000 property in Charlestown, we tell Sam again about it. Now Sam's had to make an inquiry and give us forms of contact, otherwise we can't respond to his inquiry. So you will have definitely always given us your email because you've inquired online. You most probably will have given us your mobile, because that's the most common form of communication outside of email for real estate. But the final thing is you may have even given us your landline. So our database, what it does is mess you up. So for us, and what's really exciting about this home is in a target market that we have a strong holding of buyers in. So that means, so once we load all the photos in, and before we go to preview to get the market started with the biggest bang we possibly can, we will email every single buyer that's been data matched to your property. We will SMS those that have responded to the same sort of property in the last 30 days. We won't SMS them all because it'll be too many SMSs, there'll be thousands going out. So it will be SMSing those, that we have mobiles on that have inquired in the last 30 days. And the final one is a physical phone call to the ones that we know this property suits, because we actually see, oh, that's Joe and Mary, yes, I remember them, they inquired about this property, this one's even better for them, it'll suit their needs better. And I do have that Joe and Mary, ironically for this one, their names aren't Joe and Mary, but the person's there. End result of all this, Sam, is your property will go to the market.
Yep.
It'll go to the market with the best possible internet marketing we possibly can do.
Yep.
It'll have all the information a buyer needs to make a decision whether they should be viewing the property or not, or being involved in a negotiation. Our brochures are going to be the best ones that are able to be purchased, are used anywhere in the country based on stats. It'll be advertised on 26 web portals, raywhite.com, 1,000 odd offices, domain.com as the lead listing, and realestate.com. Our database, which has got more power than people could ever imagine, will have buyers that have been data matched to the property invited out to the preview to give your property the best possible result, which means that the sale price on your home will be as high as we possibly can get and a premium result in the market.
Excellent.
To get started now, we need a couple of little things to sort of move forward. All the mechanical work gets done by the girls in the office. We need to decide on the best day, based on the amount of work you've got to do, being their painting,
Yep.
to get the photographer out.
Yep.
And before we do the photographer, I would also like to quickly sneak this couple in that I think that could make an offer pre you even opening a paint tin.
Yep.
And that might be a really great situation for you and the missus too, because it's a bit easier.
Yep.
With open homes. So, just quickly looking at our calendars, could we pencil in Monday fortnight for the photos?
Monday fortnight for the photos. Could we possibly do it earlier?
Yeah, why don't we pencil in something earlier, but we reconfirm.
So I was thinking, obviously, doing the painting and that this weekend,
We can try for the Monday after.
or yeah, sometime next week. So we're open the following Saturday.
Okay, well let's plan for Monday. I'll
Yeah.
get the photographer to contact you. His name's Troy. He'll do the plans as well,
Yep.
and we'll go from there. And we'll see, he might need to call you on Sunday to see if you managed to get everything done.
Yep.
Okay, terrific.